Hey guys, today we're going to practice graphing with complex numbers. It's pretty simple if you know how to plot a XY coordinate. You just have to know what each of the numbers represent on a given coordinate plane. And that's it, so let's get started. Today we're practicing graphing complex numbers using the OMG math method. The question asks us to graph the four equations. As you can see, they all contain real and complex parts. The first thing we observe is that some of the numbers have an I attached to it. It's asking us, our mission is to graph each expression, and our game plan is first to determine what I represents, and then write each expression as an ordered pair and graph it. So when we're given a complex number, each part represents something. The 5, or the part without an I attached to it, represents your x coordinate. It's your real part. The part with I attached to it is going to function like a y value, meaning it's going to be plotted on the vertical axis. So when we go to graph it, we're going to write each of these coordinates as an xi coordinate, so an x, and then the I is going to represent similar to what your y would be on the vertical axis. So 3 plus 5i is going to be 3, 5. So I go over 3 on the x, so this is my real axis. And then the y-axis, that's my complex axis. So I go 3 on my real axis, 5 on my complex axis. I plot a point, and then I draw an arrow from the origin to that point. And that's how you graph a complex expression. When I do 4 minus 5i, 4 is my real part, and negative 5 is my complex part. So I go over 4 on my real axis, so on what we would think of as our x-axis, and I go down to negative 5 on our complex axis and plot the point at 4, negative 5. 7i, there is no real part, so my real part is 0 and my complex part is 7. So I go to 0, 7, so again 0 on the real part and 7 on the complex or imaginary part. And the last one is 2i minus 3. Even though these numbers are written in a different order, they still function the same. So 3, or negative 3, because there's a minus in front of it, is our real part. And 2 is our imaginary part because there's a 2 attached to I. So I go negative 3 on the real axis, so negative 3. And then I go positive 2 on the complex axis, so I go over negative 3 up to positive 2. Plot a point, and then I draw a line to it. So again, when you're graphing complex numbers, you take the real part, the part without I, and you plot that on your x-axis, so on your horizontal axis. You take your imaginary part, so the part attached to I, and you plot that on your y or your complex axis. So again, just like plotting an xy point, as long as you know what each part represents, you write it as a coordinate point, you plot that point, and then you draw an arrow connecting to it. And that is how you graph complex numbers.
Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.